Hello crafters and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you another crochet border that you can add to your projects. And in this video I'm going to show you what I'm calling the triangle border, and I'll show you how to work this in the round evenly, like say on the edge of a basket. And I will also show you how to work around the corners, like if you're working on a rectangle project like a blanket. As far as yarn, I have this little circle I crocheted using a Caron Simply Soft yarn, and we're going to do the border in this green red heart yarn. For my hook, I'm going to use a size 8 5mm hook. So first of all, we need to create a slip knot and put the slip knot on our hook and join it to our circle or whatever project we are working on. Once I have the slip knot on my hook, I'm going to pick a random spot where I'm going to join, and I'm going to insert my hook into the top of a stitch, yarn over, and pull through everything to create that slip stitch to join to my fabric. Now there's two ways that we can work this pattern, and I'm going to show you both of them. They'll end up giving you essentially the same results, just one uses turning chains and one uses what is called the alternative turning chain. Basically the first stitch of this pattern is a treble stitch, so that's where you would yarn over twice, and we can either work a chain 3 and do a treble stitch, or we can do what's called the alternative turning chain, which is a bunch of stacked up single crochet stitches to count as our treble stitch. But I'll show you both methods and just go with whatever one is easiest and makes the most sense to you. So the first option is to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then in the same spot where we work that slip stitch to join, we're going to work a treble. So that's yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's one way to work it, where we do a chain 3 followed by a treble, and it's essentially a stitch that is the height of a treble stitch. The other option is to work this stitch I'm calling the alternative turning chain, and we're going to work it to a height of 3 to act as a treble crochet stitch. So go back to where we're joined, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of work basically a single crochet in that spot where we've joined. But we're not going to do a chain or anything before we work the single crochet. So we are going to insert our hook in the same spot where we worked the slip stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. Pretty much like a single crochet stitch. Now we're going to work a single crochet stitch kind of stacked up on top of what we just worked here. So we're going to find that left vertical strand of yarn that runs up and down, and we're going to insert our hook underneath that from right to left, and in that spot we're going to work a single crochet. So insert under that bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So it's basically 2 single crochets stacked up so far. We're going to repeat it one more time. We're going to find that left vertical bar of the stitch we just worked, so right there where I'm pointing. And again, we're going to insert under that strand that runs up and down on the left side. Insert under there, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through 2. And this is what we call an alternative turning chain. This is one that is to a height of 3, which is the height of a treble crochet. So whether you work the turning chain followed by a traditional treble stitch, or you work what I just showed here, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna get essentially the same results. I personally like this second method here the best, so that's how I'm going to work for the rest of this project. And now it's time to do our repeating pattern. So next we're going to work a double crochet. So that's yarn over, insert yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Just a basic double crochet, nothing fancy to it. In the next stitch, we're going to work a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook to complete that half double crochet stitch. In our next stitch, we're going to work a single crochet. So insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and in our 5th stitch, we will work a slip stitch. So just insert, yarn over, and pull through everything. And that is the pattern that repeats. It creates this kind of funky little triangle. And now we'll just repeat this all the way around. Now, if you're working the chain 3 treble method, you'll chain 3 and then work your treble in the next stitch. If we're doing the alternative turning chain like I'm showing here, I'm going to insert in the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then I'm going to insert in the left hand side of that stitch I've just worked. So that bar running up and down, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we'll do that one more time, working on the left hand side of the stitch just completed. Insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's going to count as our treble crochet. Then in our next stitch, we're going to work a double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch. So next stitch is a double crochet. So that's just a yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through 2 times. Then a half double crochet in the second stitch, followed by a single crochet, and last of all, a slip stitch. And the double crochet on down, those are just the normal versions of those stitches. So this is what it looks like as we keep working around. I'll show you that alternative turning chain one more time. We insert in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Then find the left side of the stitch just worked, insert our hook underneath it from right to left, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. One more time in the left hand side of the stitch we just worked, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That counts as our treble. Then in the next stitch, we're going to work a normal double crochet right in that second stitch there. In the third stitch, we're going to work a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. Work a single crochet in our fourth stitch. So insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And last of all, in the fifth stitch, work a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through everything. So that's how the pattern repeats. We're going to do that all the way around, and then I'll show you how to join it once we get to the end. So for me, I worked this pattern where I had exactly the right amount of stitches. I had a multiple of 5. So I'm just going to slip stitch in the first stitch where I started just to make it look a little nicer, and then I would fasten off. But here's what it looks like. Of course, if you don't have a multiple of 5, you might need to double up some stitches. Perhaps on your last one, you might need to work the double crochet and the half double crochet in the same stitch. Or if you have too many stitches remaining, you might want to do a few extra slip stitches at the end before joining your round. But that's how to work this pattern if you're working just evenly in the round. So now let's say you want to work this border on a square or rectangular project like, say, a blanket. Here's how I would work this. We're going to start by joining the same way we did before with a slip knot, and I would join at a corner. So insert my hook through there, yarn over, and slip stitch to join. So now at this point, I'm going to start my pattern. So I'll start with that treble crochet made of the alternative turning chain, where I basically stack up those single crochet stitches, followed by a double, and then a half double, single crochet, slip stitch, and then repeat. What my goal is going to be now, in this little bit of space I have left, is to work my pattern evenly, so that way I end with a slip stitch in the left-hand corner. Now I planned this square so that way it'll work out with the right number of stitches for me, but if not, you may need to double up some stitches in a space, or you may need to add a few extra slip stitches when you get to the corner. So I'm going to repeat the pattern across until I get to the corner. So now I've worked along this side and ended with a slip stitch in the corner. That's really important. If you have too few stitches left to work a complete repetition of the pattern, then you may need to, say, work the half double crochet and the double crochet in the same stitch. And if you have too many extra stitches, then you may need to do another slip stitch or 2. But basically you want to line it up so you end up with a slip stitch in the corner. So now we're going to very simply just turn our work and repeat the pattern along the next side of our project. So I'll start in the top of the first row here, just insert along the side, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, insert in that left bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, insert in that left bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And then I'll just work in these side stitches here, work a double crochet next, work a half double crochet, work a single crochet, and then work a slip stitch. And I'll repeat this all the way along the edge, and when I get to this next corner, I'll do the same thing. I want to make sure I end up with a slip stitch in this corner and then just start the pattern afresh going down the next side. So I'll show you how this turns out on a square project. So here is how this border turns out when we work it on a square or rectangular item. I just think this is a really fun design, just kind of a little quirky, kind of offset, but also very simple to crochet. But this is today's border. I hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and comment below and let me know what project you're going to use this border or any of the borders I've shown so far. Let me know what project you're going to be adding these borders to. Happy crafting!